Hey, thanks for watching, subscribing, and liking the videos and leaving some comments. But hit the like button because it helps. Well, today we're working on an old trim pump. I was trying to think of things to keep it interesting, but it comes. I get them as they come. Let's just say that. Anyway, there's the old trim pump right here. I'm having to use my GoPro because I'm charging the batteries in my other camera. But there's the trim pump, electric trim pump with the, you got a solenoid trim motor. Anyway, there's 4 hydraulic lines, and they go into these 2 rams. And anyway, I'm working on that. I got to get them bled first, make sure it all works. So the first thing you kind of do is continuity test everything. So I got red and they have white here. This could be black, but it's white because this would be your ground. Anyway, we got hot. It's gonna go up to this side of the solenoid. So we got a hot that's coming up to this side of the solenoid. So we check that line, and then whenever the solenoid clicks, then it's going to go hot. It's green, which is up. This is ground from the motor to the ground of the battery, or the battery, as Terrell would say. And then we have an input. Sometimes this is missing. Usually it's there. Occasionally you find one that somebody just wired it straight. But there's 3 lines that come out, and I've got them stripped down here. And either I'll put a switch. I think I got a switch where I can test this. Like I can use my little homemade ignition box, but I'm going to continuity test all this. So this would be white, would be your hot. And so this is hot, and then depending on up, green, or black, down. So green's going to come into the positive side of the solenoid, and it's going to click, and then it's going to go out green to the up. And then whenever your ground is, like the black wire is not ground, it's like ground and white. So, and then it's going to go through this connector. Instead of going to the solenoid like the green side does, it goes over here to this little it's kind of a, I don't know beige little connector. Sometimes they're black, but it's basically a, what would they call it, a union, or it's a fuse block, but there's no fuse, so it's just a block. And then it goes and it goes down. I guess the motor absorbs more shock initially on the up cycle than on the down cycle. That's the only thing I know. But anyway, I got some oil. You got 2 screws. You got the bleed screw back here you got to take out, and then you got the fill one here. So I've got a battery down here, and I can hook it up, and then if I wanted to I could touch these, but I won't. I'll probably use my little thing to turn. I can turn a key, and then I can put it for the up and then for the down, something like that. It's an ignition switch, but I'm going to use it for this to cycle it up and cycle it down. So pretty simple. Except for like I have this little, notice I have this little oil can, so just put it in there and fill it up some. And then if you go over to the trim rams, then you'll notice that it has basically an Allen key, and it has the other's a flathead screwdriver. Well, that flathead is your drain. So you bleed it that way by opening it up until you start getting fluid coming out of it, and then put that screw back in, and then it's bled. And you may have to do this a few times because you're on the ground. You can tell one's up, one's down. So, but eventually it'll level out. But you can gravity bleed them until you start getting fluid come out of there, and then put some more fluid in it. Crack these a few times. Put some fluid in it, and then keep cycling it up and down until eventually they'll start going out and then they'll go in. Anyway, you get the idea. These are pretty dirty, need to be cleaned up. I cleaned this up a little bit, took it out, took a hand washer and just kind of sprayed it with a like some pine sol and water, and then I sprayed it off with just regular water, rinsed it, and then I air dried it. So it's a pretty good shape. I wiped it off, especially around the screw holes and that. You don't want any debris going in it, so we got rid of that and hooked up my lines. I think one was 3/8 and the other one I want to say is 1/2 inch. And be careful with them, it's not that hard. Had to do one line on the ram, got that connected. It's not that hard. These are pretty good hoses. So this one's missing the little, there is a little bracket you can put on your boat, but you almost have to cut these off. So if you cut them off, you can get other, I don't know what you want to do there. If you got them all intact, you can still have it, but if it's not intact, it's going to be like that. There's no way to really get that little bracket I'm talking about on, that I know of. I used this to crack one of them. It was pretty tight, so talking about the two bleed screws. Got the battery hooked up. And we got this little remote switch of mine. Should turn them on. Hopefully those are both open. Got a little pan there to catch the oil. I heard something. What was that? What's going on? What are you guys doing? Oh, I see. That one's going in already. And we're connected to, over here I'm connected white to positive green, and we're going, where are we going? We're going down? Yeah. We can go all the way down. Alright. And then I can cycle this to my black wire. It's over here somewhere. Put them over like so. And then see if we get any fluid coming out. Okay. Dang, that was cut. This little clip sucks. Well, I'm going to put the screws back in it, check the fluid, and I'll be back. Alright, well, we got them bled. Like I said, you got to go back and forth a couple times, and we got no leaks on this one. Sometimes you got leaks, and you know, got to fix the leaks before you can really do it right. But she's all good, not leaking. Anyway, that's all the way up. And I turn my switch. They're pretty even. One's got a little more travel than the other, like on the down, and then on the you know, like when it's lifting it up, the one on the right, it's like they alternate. So the one on the left has a little push, see, if you got a dual cylinder one, it goes up and down faster because it's got more current. But you can see how the one on the right had a little push, and then if I reverse it, it's about the same, except for the one on the right's going a little faster. See, there's a little push. And that's because we don't have a dual solenoid system. If you had a dual solenoid, then more current would travel through that wire and run that motor a little faster. But you can run them like this and it's fine. Anyway, she's bled. She's ready to go on whatever motor I'm going to put it on. Hopefully the 67.